History and Headlocks. Class is in session.
Holy crap.
That was awesome. I love that.
Production quality is improved on this show, everybody.
Oh, yeah. Be getting there.
History and Headlocks. Mike and Ari are back once again here for New York Wrestle Media. Join here bi-weekly every month. So like and comment and subscribe for future stuff like from us, where you'll get a very good history lesson in the world of professional wrestling. And Ari, how do you feel about our new intro?
I love it. It's exactly what I envisioned when we were discussing it on the side, you know?
Yeah. And shout out to you for the new logo. Very good work. My God.
You know me. Come on, man.
I had to give you your flowers because everybody
to my own horn right here.
because I posted the new logo on our Instagram page, which everybody should follow, NYWM_history headlocks. Yeah, that's what our Instagram is, and because everybody was very, very curious on who the new logo was, so that was all you.
I got skills, guys.
Because when we talked about like the new look or like how the show would look like, we pretty much had Saved by the Bell themed in mind, and and shout out to Jay for that lovely intro with all the professors and all those very, very funny AI images.
He nailed it. The music, everything.
Absolutely. But we are here to talk about part 2 of John Cena's retrospective, which if anybody hasn't seen part 1 yet, go back and watch that before you go tune into this one. Mm-hmm. But when we last left off with John Cena, it was around 2007, and I kind of equated his injury to the death of the Wicked Witch of the West from The Wizard of Oz. But we did leave on a good note. We'll leave on a good cliffhanger because he did make his miraculous return at the Royal Rumble 2008. Mm-hmm. And were you watching? I think you've mentioned the last part, but were you watching at this point, or were you out at the moment?
At that point, I was out completely. So what I know about him is from just clips I've seen online, the hearsay here and there about Super Cena.
Right. So does it shock you to hear from supposed to be a 6-month, 9-month recovery to he's back in 2?
Yeah, that was wild.
That's not human.
It's not. It's like what was he doing? Like from the moment he left the hospital after whatever surgery he had, he was just in rehab 24/7. I'm like, how do you condense an almost year's worth of recovery into just 2 months? Like, what were you doing, bro?
Yeah, he pretty much that's his claim. He did rehab every day, which. And this is going to be semi-personal, but have you ever had any major surgeries yourself on any of
I mean, I've had surgery, but I wouldn't call it major. It only took a couple of weeks to recover from it, you know?
Right, but if anything was like torn or broken, you wouldn't be trying.
No, I would be. I mean, I know they throw you into rehab as soon as possible into physical therapy, but it's like, I mean, they give you a couple of days in between to rest.
Right. Because I imagine he did both physical therapy and rehab at the same time. So it's
of course.
But that's just not human.
Yeah, it's like I feel like he overly pushed himself, maybe. I mean, maybe, who knows? Maybe he even came back too soon.
When he did come back, he was physically fine. He did. I'll say physically, he looked exactly the same. Nothing really changed.
Right.
He just had a scar, or I think, or here, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Because I think it was a torn cuff or rotator cuff. It was something on his shoulder.
And that's the crazy thing, because shoulder injuries, especially rotator cuff injuries, take, from what I've seen, like people in my life who've had to have that surgery.
I may be wrong though, but I think that's what it was. Because I remember he just showed off in a promo.
Right.
I remember it was like one of those like a little scar, but it was also like those things where again, it was like it went from 6 months to 2.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. That's the only thing I could think is that he was literally living in the facility just 24/7, and when he was home, he was just constantly doing the at home exercises, just not quitting. And that's wild to me. Your body needs to still rest. It's still healing. I mean, geez.
Is that crazy dedication, though? Do you think?
Oh, absolutely. It'd be a little too crazy, but but there's some people who just they don't want to miss. They don't want to miss out. They don't want to miss out on that time, I guess. And they just do the max that they can do.
Yeah. I mean, does this show you more of him being the company man than maybe like others in the company?
I think in his head, maybe he felt that way, that he had to do it because he was the company man. He needed to be there.
He was the face of the brand at that point.
He's the face of the brand, and maybe there was something inside him that said, if I'm not there, things are not going to be as good. Mm-hmm. I think maybe the ship will sink without me. Like, meanwhile, we know it wouldn't have.
Oh, absolutely. I think the kind of quote Stephanie from 2004 when she kind of had a face off with him, like we don't need you, you need us, type of thing. But
right. I mean, yeah, exactly. And
because Johnson is just another spoke in the wheel, where they like if he's gone, they just replace him with another spoke.
And I'm pretty sure
another gear piece.
Right, exactly. Like, all right, we got a replacement for now until we get the real thing fixed or whatever. But maybe in his head, because I'm sure since he came back for the Rumble movie, they already had the plan before he was injured, right?
Mm-hmm.
When exactly did he get injured? November?
He got October,
back in January. So yeah,
so November, December, and then he makes his big return in January.
Right, because we usually know that like November, January, they already kind of have their plan set so they could go into WrestleMania.
Right.
With Survivor Series, Rumble, Mania. So the only thing I could think of is he didn't want the plan to get scrapped.
Or you just didn't want to miss Mania at all.
Right, exactly. He just wanted to not throw a monkey wrench into everything with an injury and just pushed himself to the point where he was back miraculously in 2 months.
Because I will say at the time, it looked like for WrestleMania, I mean, like I will say all this before the Benoit stuff too, that it seemed like they were gonna go Cena Orton from Mania maybe. Mm-hmm. And then with the whole illegitimate son thing too, that it was going to be like Mr. Kennedy versus Triple H at WrestleMania.
Right.
But due to outside forces that we'll get into in a future episode, but it kind of turned into Randy versus Triple H at WrestleMania for the title.
Yeah.
And then when John Cena, I guess, you would have to think by December, he's telling them, hey, I'm going to be good in a month.
Right.
So then they're probably thinking, okay, let's add him back in. So then that's when we had WrestleMania with the triple threat. And so then at that point until summertime, he's on Raw main eventing still. Mm-hmm. Still in the mix. They moved Triple H over, so now he's working with new people on Monday Night Raw with Batista.
Right.
And guys like Rey Mysterio, new guys on Monday Night Raw. But meanwhile, this is when he really starts going out more in the public eye, starting doing the late shows and all that type of stuff. So
presses and stuff, right. Publicity.
Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. So then he has a match with Batista at SummerSlam, which was weirdly built. It was only built out 2 weeks before the event even was.
Right.
So takes an awkward Batista bomb from the top rope, and then he gets hurt. Again, I'm not going to say, no, he was actually legit hurt. Because I think he hurt. I forgot where he hurt. This is where I should have had notes on this, but he was hurt again, and then he came back again in time for November. So out in August, September, October, another 2 months he's out, and he comes back in November, wins the world title from Chris Jericho, who was on a hot streak at that point as the top heel in the company.
Right.
Then 2009 rolls around, and he's in the world heavyweight title picture, which I will say, thank God he never turned it into a spinner. Because if he
Yeah.
turned the big gold into a spinner, I think that might have been the breaking point for wrestling fans.
Yeah.
But
Agreed.
he had WrestleMania 25 came around. His entrance though is very memorable with all the John Cena lookalikes
I remember
on the
that.
ramp. Yeah,
I remember seeing that. Yeah.
and the big moment of him lifting a Big Show and Edge at the same time, which again is freaky strength of Mr. Cena.
I don't know, man. I don't know how. I mean, there's some people who are just naturally strong, naturally fast healers. But dude,
But it's like you think like something like when you look at a Batista, he could be doing that.
right,
Not small 6 foot John Cena who has like big
right,
muscles, but not as big as Batista's.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, John Cena did that crazy spot WrestleMania and he won his title. Interesting story about that. It was supposed to be Cena and Edge in Mania, but he pitched for the Big Show to be in the match as well.
Okay,
So that's a case of John Cena being a good guy
right,
backstage. But
yeah,
there's been definitely some stories over the years of John Cena not being.
yeah. I've heard.
You nodding your head. It's like there's definitely stories you've heard over the
Yeah,
years of Cena not being a good guy backstage,
right. Not not being a team player of sorts.
holding people down. Apparently,
He was being John Hogan, Hulk Cena.
but I think Hulk Hogan was worse than Hulk Hogan was way worse than John Cena.
He was worse. He's the worst. He was the
Yeah.
worst. No one will ever be able to take that away from him, I think. But yeah, I did hear a lot of stories about how he didn't want to put certain people over, or he would actually be very critical of them, openly critical of them, and that actually shocked me when I first heard about how his attitude was at that time, because he just never came off like that.
Right, you think
In
a
the
guy that
beginning,
would love the business would just be
right?
like he wants to help everybody out.
Supportive, help put over the younger guys, speak highly of people, and if he did criticize, it was a constructive criticism and not like putting them under the rug. They sweeping them under the rug in a way, or throwing them under the bus.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually very shocked to see that. Like, wow, like what has gotten into him? Like, what got into him at that point? Like, where was his mindset that he was approaching things like that?
Have you heard of the Mickey James story?
I've heard little bits and pieces, but I don't know the whole story. No.
So from what I understand, that this was we're gonna be going back a little bit to so when he wasn't fighting for the title, there was a weird storyline on Raw where Cena and Mickey James had like a weird relationship type of thing on
Right.
TV, where John Cena would approach her and be like, "By the way, you left these in my place last night," and he'd hand her a pair of panties.
Oh my gosh.
And then Mickey James is the women's champion and stuff. She's like, "Oh my gosh, like I can't." Like, oops. But then, like the segments ended really when he would take like a drink of like I don't want to say 5 hour energy, but it was something they were promoting at the time.
Yeah.
And that's how all those segments ended. But apparently, like something else was going on backstage with Cena and Mickey, where like they were flirting, and Mickey James' real life boyfriend Kenny Dykstra was not happy about this,
Right.
and he voiced his displeasure about it. And then pretty much Cena buried him with the Vince, and
Yeah.
Kenny Dykstra was never.
Yeah. That's the
see it
little
again.
Bits, that's the main part that I've heard about him burying her man.
Right.
It's just weird. It's almost so uncharacteristic of what he was always like, from what you heard about him outside of the ring, not just as the wrestler, but this. You always heard of John as being like kind and friendly and sociable and the company guy, right? The big shiny sunshine face of the company that could do no wrong. And then you start hearing these things about him being a douchebag backstage, being a total dick to everybody, and it's like,
so it's too select few, which is the weird
right
thing.
Yeah, and it's like, what? Listen, we know when you're working somewhere, you're not gonna like everybody. We know this. There are people that you work with that you probably think, I can't stand this freaking guy. this chick, whatever. We've all been there. We're human. We're not gonna love everybody,
right?
But you also have to have professionalism and keep it to yourself. And if there's an issue, you speak to a higher up about it.
Mm-hmm.
Or you have a discussion with that person in a professional, mature manner, not making them feel like shit to the public eye, too, you know?
Right.
Especially in that situation.
It has to be a way for coworkers to be cordial with each other, even if they don't like each other.
You still have to be professional. Yeah, you still have to be polite, at least. Like, you don't have to be best friends backstage, but keep that professional, cordial attitude with one another. Outside of the building, you want to talk shit to each other, go ahead.
Off the time, let's talk.
Right.
Outside do whatever you want.
Exactly. But to bury somebody and potentially ruin their career, that's just very shocking.
I think it's just another thing too when you go to your boss and you say your displeasures, or I would say say your displeasures, but it's also like put into the boss's head like certain things like, oh, like this kid's not gonna get over. Why you keep trying? Like it's definitely that type of verbiage that hurts. Can hurt somebody's career because at the end of the day, Vince is the one that decides who goes on TV and what he wants on his product.
Exactly, but I also could imagine he respected John's opinion.
Of course,
since he had John on a pedestal, basically.
He's making the money off merch,
right? And that's the only thing I can think of is like he put John on this pedestal to the point where it got to his head.
Yeah.
He thought that he was like, at that point, he thought he was like the end all be all of professional wrestling. And I know who's going to work and I know who's not going to work. And I don't think this guy's going to be good or this girl's going to be good. So get rid of them. Like, very Donald Trump. I know, what a comparison. I know. That's how I feel. Like, that's how he is. He's very like, oh, this.
Well, here's another one of your favorites. It's bad enough when your son-in-law is the one telling you how he feels about the other talent. When your top star is also coming to you and giving his opinion, it's like, well, you're screwed at that point.
Exactly.
Because you think the top guy is like also like locker room leader or like you're like somebody could go like and tell something in conference.
Right.
But if for some reason that guy doesn't like you, you're fucked.
Yeah. Yeah. And you would think that instead of being like that, if there's something that you don't see in a wrestler, or you think, okay, this person's lacking in this skill set, pull him aside, be the locker room leader, say, hey, I think you could use a little help with this. You know, if you want to sit down, we could talk about it. I could show you, or I could, have somebody else here who could guide you.
That's why there's no unions in wrestling, because wrestlers can't decide on what they want or can't agree on anything.
Yep. Exactly. They would never get anything done if there was a union.
And you know who would be in charge of this union? The people that are already the locker room leaders, your Triple H's, your Undertakers.
Right, of course.
The same people that probably have the same opinion that, oh, that guy sucks. I don't want to work with him. Or I think Vince is wasting his time on him. Right.
These young talent, they don't know what they're doing. Horrible. They can't sell.
Thank God wrestling today, it's at least slightly better. I don't know how much it's changed, but I think that backstage dynamics are definitely different these days.
We definitely don't hear about that. Yeah. From a lot of the promotions, we don't hear a lot of, egos getting in the way. I mean, you hear rumors, but sometimes I feel like that's all they are, rumors. Yeah.
I would say I would definitely love to be a fly on the wall for like a wrestler's court.
I know.
Because you hear all the stories of like how people used to take the shit out of it, or make it like a good time too.
Right. But I'm sure.
I heard one story like Tommy Dreamer would have like a buttoned up shirt, a tie, a suit jacket, but no pants on.
Okay, Mr. Dreamer.
It'd be it would be also stupid shit too. Be like, oh, like Teddy Long didn't pay for his cab, like he didn't pay for the boys' trip, or like he didn't like nonsense like that.
Yeah, funny stuff to pass the time before the show starts. I'm sure.
Or even there's one wrestler's car I heard where think it was in 2004 when they do the Diva Search, and they had like the Diva Search girls play against the WWE Divas on the Raw roster,
Hmm.
and they beat them in a game of dodgeball on the pay per view.
Oh goodness.
So the next day they had wrestlers court because they thought the Divas were like losing on purpose to make them look bad,
Nah.
which was like one of those like silly ones.
Yeah.
But we're talking about like outside stuff so around this time too, and also let's be real here. This was a PR thing for the
Mm.
company, but they started working with Make a Wish.
Right.
What did you initially think of this, or did you hear about this?
Yeah, I had heard about it. I thought it was great, because we were kids once. We were wrestling fan kids once, right? And these kids who are going through some kind of illness and then may not make it, why not give them that opportunity to meet their favorite superstars? I think that was beautiful, very beautiful.
And the most requested one, of course, was John Cena.
John Cena, yeah.
Shocked that did that shock you at all, or
Well, that didn't shock me because he was the major face for a long time already at that point, and he was so appealing to kids. Like
right.
in the 80s, it would have been Hulk Hogan.
Oh my god! Can you imagine if they were doing Make a Wish back then, like all the wrestlers with their cocaine walking in with the dying children?
Don't say that. No, I would think they would be on their best behavior. I mean, we saw that.
Listen here, little brother. You want to be like me? Snort.
We've seen that clip of what was it, Jerry Springer, where Razor Ramon was hanging out with the two HIV positive children. He gave one of them the belt and he got in trouble for it. But it's like he didn't care because it was the official belt.
The real belt wasn't a replica belt.
And he was like, I don't care, man. The kid deserved it.
Yeah.
Like that was a beautiful thing because it shows the human side of these wrestlers. And
what was the other one too? Where they were passing around a card for a kid that was sick, and the Warrior didn't sign it because he thought it was bullshit.
Oh yeah,
so then he had to record a video apologizing.
Yes, and then he's the whole time he doesn't even understand why he needs to do it. It's like, dude, you're a dick. Apologize.
But it's also you hear Vince like, bro, it's a work. Just apologize.
And I know that what's his name? What's the actor's name? Ryan. Help me out here. Not Ryan Reynolds. Ryan the other
Gosling?
one. Ryan Gosling, where he had a bad encounter with the Warrior when he was a kid, and he can't.
Yes.
I was like, jeez. And then they finally gave him an autograph picture. He didn't want it because he hated him so much at that point.
Fuck the Warrior.
Yeah, fuck the Warrior. And when you bring it up to him, you can still see that childhood anger come out.
It's like one of those like trigger things. Like if you mention the Warrior to him, he's like, nope.
Yeah, I think we all have triggers with certain wrestlers. I know I do.
Either certain wrestlers or certain people in our lives.
Certain people, period. Right, exactly.
But around this time, WWE is definitely going very PG.
Yes, right.
John Cena is the poster boy for it.
Mm-hmm.
Where television promos, where it's supposed to be serious stuff, or like he's supposed to promote pay-per-views or get people excited, and he's suffering succotash or gee willikers. Oh,
very Looney Tunes, huh?
Very, very Looney Toony, and it was not fun.
Right.
As a kid, I didn't know better. It's just one of those stupid things. Like, oh, John Cena is silly, but it's also like he fucking wins every goddamn time, and he sounds like a moron.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then this is the era when he starts wearing colorful T-shirts. So it was like orange, and then it turned into a green shirt, then a red shirt, then a purple shirt.
Right.
I think he had every color in the rainbow at this point, going until the end at this break. But around this time, 2009, there's also the never-ending feud with Randy Orton, where I think people with tinted glasses maybe like, oh, that was a great feud, but it was more of repetition of same old shit, nothing different.
Right.
But they did have some good matches, honestly. So
Yeah, the chemistry is off the hook.
like, would I say Randy Orton is John Cena's greatest rival? No.
Mm.
I think John Cena's greatest rivals are more in the line of CM Punk, Edge, AJ Styles, like those types of guys.
Mm-hmm.
Randy Orton. It was just it was pretty much them trying to do Austin and Rock, but
Yeah.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
to use a word you would use a lot sometimes, like a Timu version of that, maybe with Cena
Right.
and Orton trying to be Austin and Rock.
Right.
But yeah, never really, it never really clicked. Looking back on it,
No.
it was always the two pushed guys, the two good-looking guys that Vince loved,
Mm-hmm.
and nothing really stood out. Like
Yeah.
again, good matches, but it was. I mean, Randy Orton would kick John Cena's father front, which I will mention John Cena Sr. here, who is
Yeah.
a fucking character outside the ring.
Yeah, I've heard.
Johnny Fabulous.
Yeah. Oh, daddy. What are you doing, bro?
It's one of those things where it's like kind of like with Mrs. Dad. It's like, oh, you get very excited when you see the parents come on television. It's like, oh, something great's about to happen, or something bad's about to happen.
Oh, somebody's going through something. A table or something.
Somebody's gonna get punched or get kicked in the head or something.
Right. Dragged over the barricade, and
So again, it's like this is like 2008, 2009, 2010.
yes.
Same old Cena, nothing distinguish him. And I think, and again, were you watching? Did you tune in at this point in 2010?
Not yet. And it's funny because and when I would see him, it was always in a non-wrestling capacity during that time. So in my head, I thought he retired or has stepped away.
You thought he did? You thought he pulled the Rock?
Yeah, exactly. Because I always just see him movies, TV show appearances, talk shows. He even did that game show for a bit. That Jericho used to host.
Are you smarter than a fifth grader?
No, it was like that. It was like the obstacle course game show. I forgot the name of it. I know Jericho hosted it for a bit.
American Gladiators?
No, it was very comedic. It was very comedic. I can't remember.
Wipeout.
Wipeout. Thank you, that one. He was hosting that, and I in my head I said, oh, he must have retired, or he must have just walked away from the ring and he's doing his own thing. Good for him.
Right. I will say he started doing more movies, but it was also more of the WWE movies too.
Right. Yeah.
Nothing really outside, I think, at this point, 2010, 2011.
No, it wasn't until he started doing like G.I. Joe and Fast and Furious that he kind of.
It was that movie with Amy Winehouse. What the hell is that movie called?
Amy Schumer.
Amy Schumer.
Yes, where he played her.
My fault.
Yeah, I saw that one in theaters. I had no idea he was in it.
Yeah, it's like her, him, LeBron James.
Yes,
and,
it was
the dude from SNL.
Yeah, yes. It was just imagine me sitting in the theater with one of my friends, and the first thing I see is him having sex on screen, and I'm like, oh God. It's like, what is going on here?
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think he was the funniest person in the movie.
Of course. He absolutely was, because Amy Schumer isn't funny at all.
Yes. So, side thing, I never understood her popularity.
She's a jerk.
I never got her. Like, she used to say like rude things or like crude things, but it's also like I've heard other celebrities say them, and I laugh at them.
Right.
There's something funny about Amy.
Nothing.
I don't think she's in the public eye anymore. But
she is, but negatively. That's all I gotta say.
Well, I haven't heard her name recently.
Yeah.
But,
no, I've seen her name. It's.
I mean, she's not fucking like she's not like Perez Hilton who came out of nowhere, but that was a fucking other thing. But so like he's like doing outside projects again, still doing the late show, still doing Make a Wish, but a lot of the stuff in WWE where he'd be on TV, and this would be the annoying thing too. He like say he would have a title, he would lose it on Sunday. Monday he's opening the show with a big smile on his face.
Mm-hmm.
As a wrestling fan, wouldn't that annoy the shit out of you?
Yeah, like, dude, you just lost the belt and you're showing up the next day with a big smile on your face. Like, you should be like angry, upset, sell the loss.
You'd be like, I remember when Austin used to lose his title. He'd come back on Monday, either with a cement truck or a monster truck. He'd be doing something.
He'd be doing chaos and destruction.
The Rock would come out and just beat the shit out of people and
Yeah.
get screwed.
Cut a flaming promo that burns everybody left and right. Like,
no, not John Cena, because I think he also said like on TV too. He goes, I know I'll get the belt back.
Right. Okay. Cool.
And,
but
10 times out of 10, he got the belt back.
He got the belt back. Right.
It's not 9 out of 10. It's always 10 out of 10 because it was also stupid booking at this time for him. And then I'm gonna say, what do you remember about the Nexus, or what have you heard of the Nexus push?
Yeah, I've heard not good things.
Where group of rookies,
right?
and Bryan Danielson,
yes,
who arguably one of the best closing angles on Monday Night Raw, destroy the ring, destroy everything,
right?
And finding up Bryan Danielson, who chokes Justin Roberts with a tie, but he gets fired for that,
right?
And then everybody else destroys John Cena, but yeah, and then the big match at SummerSlam, even fucking Bret Hart is involved, and John Cena squashes them,
right, and completely ruined the whole concept.
I think it was also like he was like two people down. It was like Justin Gabriel and Wade Barrett left. John Cena takes a DDT on the cement on the outside, gets back in, hits Justin Gabriel with AA. But then I'll say this, just a quick aside. They changed his finishing move from the FU to the attitude adjustment, which is one of those stupid PG things because you can't say FU on TV anymore. But
I remember
hits Justin with the big move and then makes Wade Barrett tap out in the middle of the ring, and Nexus is officially dead.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I always hear the what could have been.
Yeah.
What could have been of that group had that not happened.
And you famously, did you hear the story of Jericho and Edge openly complaining about this? Or like they talk because they were going over the finish and they're them two being the vets in the room going, why would you're burying them if you do this? And Cena goes, like, well, at first Cena was like, well, but that's what I forget what his reasoning was, but I remember them saying that when they came back, Cena goes, "You guys are right, I fucked up." You realize after the fact,
right?
Because it doesn't make sense to get destroyed and then come back like miraculously and beat these two guys.
Right. It's like it should have taken a little longer to get to that point. Right? You gotta build it up. You know, you gotta let these guys have their moment. You gotta let these guys build themselves up, be strong, look like the real heels, right?
Pardon the phrase, but they blew their load too early on this Nexus.
Right, exactly. And then you just have this up and down and that's it. No, it's I mean, when I hear about that, I'm like, I could see and hear like the disappointment and anger in people when they discuss it in depth. And it's like, wow, to this day. And it's been well over a decade, right? It was 2010, 2011?
Dave Rotunda, Wade Barrett still doing interviews about this. They talk about it. They go, it was something supposed to be big. This was the closest thing to the goddamn NWO.
Right.
At that point. And the NWO was what, 96?
Yeah.
This is 2011, and they're trying this new group, and Cena just destroys them.
Right.
Destroys them. Makes them look like geeks.
That's just, Yeah. Not cool. That wasn't cool.
Yeah. And then Cena has then we get into later in the year. This is definitely, so that was like, no, that was the next stuff was 2010, but then 2011 rolls around, and The Rock makes his big return to the company, and then we start seeing them tease Rock and Cena for WrestleMania 27, but no, it's Cena versus The Miz.
Yeah.
For the WWE title. Oh boy.
No disrespect to The Miz, but how do you go from John to The Rock versus John to The Miz?
Well, The Rock was a late man thing. I think also too, like they were teasing. Like I heard rumors that Justin Bieber was originally supposed to be the host of WrestleMania 27
Okay.
because
It was
because
big
the
at the
Bees
time.
was hot at that time. Yeah, but
Right.
Rock swooped in, and then him and Cena start going back and forth on the mic, and then it's like,
Yeah,
okay,
I've seen some stuff from that, and it's like, whoa.
is something going to change WrestleMania? But no,
Mm,
this is still in the damn main event, and he wins in the damn main event.
right.
And then they build up, or they actually promoted a year in advance
Yeah.
John Cena versus The Rock.
Right.
Where I'll ask you, is that a smart business decision, or is it worth the gamble to wait a year?
That's a long time.
Yeah.
That's a very long, because we see like sometimes the long-term storytelling can get stale very quickly.
Right.
For a couple of months, you're waiting for the payoff, and you're like, "Where is this? Where is this going?"
Right.
And people start to lose interest in it.
Right.
So I think it's a massive gamble that you will most likely lose if you do this. Like you really have to have compelling stories to tell in between that start and the end of those 365 days to keep the fans on the hook.
You're also taking the gamble that The Rock will be ready, or he won't have
Right.
anything scheduled in that time span.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
he didn't stop making movies at that time.
Right. He was still rocking and
he
rolling.
did. They promoted the match, and then I think he went off to go film Fast. I think his movie, like his part in Fast and the Furious,
Yeah.
and then I think G.I. Joe.
Yeah, and both of them were doing it. They both did.
They both had separate. It was different.
Yeah,
time,
but
time
like both
periods.
both were involved in the movies. You know, like they both had their stories in it. But
Well, Rock was his part was first. Cena was
yeah,
later on,
Cena was
like afterwards when The Rock left the
right.
franchise.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
you're taking the biggest gamble in the biggest financial take or financial chance because you're going to hope people get pay tickets from WrestleMania in Miami a year in advance. Because once those tickets went on sale, people would run. You would imagine run to fucking Ticketmaster or wherever they would buy them.
Of course,
because you already know what the main event of WrestleMania is going to be for WrestleMania 20. Whatever the hell, it's like Rumble be damned or whatever the hell else goes on during the year. It's Rock Cena guaranteed.
Right. Yeah. And like I said, I mean, anything, and it's not even like the Rocks of it. Anything could have happened. An injury could have happened again. What if Cena had a new gig come up and he would have like, oh, I really want to do this movie. I don't want to waste my opportunity. And right, like anything could have happened.
But you also just said it. But God forbid God forbid Cena was the one hurt because also like The Rock, doubtful he would get hurt, but like, anything on movie set could happen. But
right,
in Cena's case, because Cena was not stopping, he was still on the road 24 hours a day or however many days that year.
Right.
So if he goes down, you're fucked.
Yeah. You can't plan that far ahead. You can't. Not when it's something that involves physicality. You can't.
Yeah.
You just can't. You can't. No. That's a huge gamble to do, and you could lose a lot of people doing something like that.
Right. But I will say for Cena, he did keep himself busy, and this is where I know your hatred for this certain person we're about to talk about next, but let's look at it at a different angle, please. Because
of course.
This is on the rise of CM Punk, who arguably is one of Cena's better rivals. Complete opposite of Mr. Hustle, loyalty, and respect.
Right. Yeah.
And just the timing of everything, too, where we'll do a retrospective. I don't know if you'll be a part of it, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But he's going to leave the company with the title, John Cena company guy. So give the man his title shot. Vince is like, if you goddamn lose that title, you're fired. He loses the matches, you're fired. So, and there was also those weird times too when Cena got fired. He'd be back the next week or the same day. So it was never worth doing a you're fired stipulation on John Cena.
Right.
Never, ever, ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
But looking at the CM Punk storyline that pretty much went from the summer into the fall,
Hmm.
what did you think about looking back on it? At least in the sense for Cena, because I think this is when Cena showed he could actually wrestle too. Because around
Right.
this point, people were like 5 moves of doom and that's it. But
Yeah. Yeah.
CM Punk got something out of him.
Yeah. I've heard good things about it. I've heard that it did bring out that side of Cena that people hadn't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, I don't know much about the feud other than that, to be honest. And sorry to say, but
Right.
but that's what I've heard. I've heard that it was one of the better feuds that he had in that span of his career.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then they took the big gamble with The Rock again, where Rock returns to Madison Square Garden Survivor Series. Rock and Cena, never before, never
Hmm.
again. That was the whole big tagline for the Survivor Series, with them two being
Right.
in the main event
Right. I've heard of that.
against the Miz and our Truth.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, it doesn't do good at pay per view buys, so the Miz and our Truth take the heat for that. But that's not their fault.
Yeah.
WWE didn't promote it properly. And
Hmm.
also, why would you buy a pay per view knowing damn well the Miz and our Truth are not going to beat John Cena and The Rock?
Absolutely not.
There's not a snowball's chance in hell.
There is no timeline where that would ever happen.
No. No, no. In Madison Square Garden, are you fucking kidding me?
Not at all.
But
Don't even bet on that because you're gonna lose everything.
yeah. And then you think, like, okay, January comes around or December comes around, and like, okay, we're getting close to the Rock match, so it's like, what's Cena gonna do? He's not gonna be in the Rumble. What's John Cena's big storyline? Kane makes his big return, and he's
Oh,
under a
lovely.
mask,
Yeah.
and it's time to rise above hate, John. Or no,
Ugh.
it's time to embrace the hate,
Okay.
John.
What year was this?
2012.
2012. Okay. Still not in it.
This is the storyline where Zack Ryder looked like a fucking schmuck.
Uh-huh.
Where Eve Torres had a thing for Zack Ryder, but then Kane was trying to. Also, John Cena was best friends with Zack Ryder. Like, John Cena gave up a WWE title shot so Zack Ryder could get a U.S. title shot.
Mm.
But then Kane came back. Like I said, this is when he put the mask back on.
Hmm.
But it's not the same old mask. It's a different
Yeah.
one.
It's that hideous looking mask, right? Like it
Yeah,
was melting or something.
I think that's what they were going for.
I hated that.
Right.
I see
And
pictures
then,
of it like,
and
oh
then they had the
man.
welder mask over it too, so it was like a double
Yeah.
mask on it sometimes.
Uh-huh.
So then he did that with storyline with Kane, where it gave us inadvertently funny moments where you have to visualize Zack Ryder in the whole like up brace with a neck brace on too, like in his
Yeah,
head.
I've seen that.
But he still has his hair spiked up with the
Right.
headband on, and
Right.
Kane rolls him off the stage.
Yes, I've seen that.
Yeah.
It's
And then
ridiculous.
you have Eve Torres kissing John Cena in front of Zack Ryder, so Zack Ryder gets pissed off because he just stole my girl, bro.
Hmm.
And then this is when they, weirdly enough, were acknowledging the fan chants, because Kane would be like, I listen to these people and they say Cena sucks. This is
Mm.
when all the grown men got loud again. The children were very scared, saying, "Let's go,
Right.
Cena. Cena sucks."
Yes.
But it's we're 1 month away from them doing Cena and Rock, and this is what you're fucking doing.
Yeah, that does seem like it was a very chaotic time creatively.
Yeah. Chaotic, maybe misguided. I don't know.
Yeah, confused.
Yeah, because if you want to push Kane, that's come back as he's a monster again with a mask, go for it. But John Cena,
Right.
why him? Anybody else on the roster he could have terrorized?
Right. It's like he became the fallback guy. Like just put everything with Cena.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much how
Right.
it felt.
Yeah.
So then that once that storyline ended, thank God, Cena wins. LOL.
Hmm.
Then we started getting his promo battles because then the Rock started showing up weekly, and you probably I hope you may have like remember some of this stuff, but there'd be a week where Cena will point out, "Hey, Rock, your promo's on your wrist. Like
I saw that.
I don't need
Yeah,
to write my stuff down beforehand."
I've
And
seen
the
that.
Rock got
Yeah,
visually, and like Rock got very pissed off.
yeah, I've seen that.
And this is kind of Cena exposing the Rock,
He,
where this
he
was not the
done,
Rock of old.
I mean, he did that a lot. Not just
Yeah.
to The Rock, but he's done that to a lot of people. Period.
Right, but
Roman.
I think it was something else what he did it to the Rock. Cause
Oh, of course, because that's like doing it to like Ric Flair or somebody, you know,
he's the goat.
like
Why, how dare you say something negative about him? But
to
it's
that
also like
or to Austin.
the Rock has notes on his arm to remember
Yeah,
his insults for John Cena.
yeah. I mean, God knows how many scripts he had in his head at that point.
I mean but it's also like this is the Rock who famously would say everything off the cuff.
Right.
But
I mean, who knows what was going on back then? Maybe I don't know, since I wasn't really watching. I only know what I've seen in retrospect. Maybe he was told that he could only say certain things because it was PG.
John Cena was definitely restricted. They made clear that a lot of the stuff like don't curse,
Right.
don't say anything out of turn, pretty much.
Because you know when the Rock goes on his promos, he could get a little spicy. So
I mean, which Rock are we talking here? Are we talking the 2012 Rock, or are we talking the final boss Rock that just pretty much cursed like a sailor every week that he was
version,
there?
because even 1998, 99, 2000 Rock would say some really freaking salacious stuff. You're like, whoa.
Yeah, and we'll get into that when we talk about Attitude Era, because the Rock back then too, he definitely had a very bad potty mouth too. Because I mean,
Yeah,
how many times? How many times did they throw the word retard out there?
Right.
Back in the Attitude Era, and that's a very no word nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, he never was shy to censor himself.
But this is 2012, where the Rock is biggest movie star in the world at this point, and John Cena is just trying his best to overpower him on the mic, but it was always one sided going into that. Or at least on promos, and then we got the match itself. It's okay match if anybody. I wouldn't recommend it, but it was something. And then Rock wins, of course, because it's in Miami. So I think at that point too, it was just pretty much that's it. We're not going to see this again, right? Once in a lifetime. They promoted it as once in a lifetime.
Of course.
Right. So then, of course, The Rock does the Raw after Raw. He makes it clear pretty much I'm going for the WWE title. So now it's like, okay, we're going to see The Rock around for a while next year.
Yeah.
So what's John Cena going to do now? And then the return of Brock Lesnar.
Another return.
Yeah. And I will say this. I was not privy to the internet. I wasn't on the dirt sheets looking for any gossip or anything. So I had no idea that Brock was going to return at this point. I just thought, well, I really didn't have any thought about it. It was just that he retired from the UFC, so I thought he's pretty much done. And then he comes back. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, I was going to ask if that was post UFC.
Yeah, because I think, what do you have? I think he had the thing that Kenny Omega almost died from.
Yeah, the I can never say the word
diverticulitis.
Diverticulitis. I could never.
I think that's what Brock had. Yeah.
Yes, he did. He had that, from what I understand.
Right, because that caused him to retire from UFC. So
yeah.
So then WWE happily takes him back, and this is one of those bad booking decisions again, where on paper it sounds nice to have Brock come back and resume things with John Cena, and first pay-per-view in, John Cena beats him.
Yeah.
Now, whatever you can say about Brock, whether you like him or you're not, you think he's boring, you think
he's still
all that money. All that money you just threw away.
I mean, this dude is a freaking monster. He is a beast. And if he's gonna come back, he should be coming back fucking everybody up.
Yeah.
So to have him come back to do the job to Cena, I can see why people were getting exhausted by him.
Yes, very. So then I mean, it doesn't get any better because I mean, this is John Cena also has a pay-per-view match with the Big Show. Let's do that one more time,
Oh
yay!
boy.
As a match with Johnny Ace, John Laurinaitis,
Mm-hmm.
and he's in the title picture again. Yay! It's like this, rinse and repeat for John Cena. CM
Right.
Punk is the WWE champion. Now he's a bad guy. We're gonna feud with him for a little bit.
Yeah.
We're gonna tease John Cena is sleeping with AJ Lee.
Uh-huh.
That was a little thing that was going on around this time.
I remember that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, heard about it.
The John Cena. Then we get into 2014. The John Cena 2014. 20, yeah, I think 20. No. Jesus Christ, all these years fucking blended together. But I think in 2014 he wins the Rumble again.
Mm-hmm.
And The Rock wins the WWE title from CM Punk, ending 434 days of misery, as he says. But once in a lifetime, then turned to twice in a lifetime. So I ask you, is that false advertising? Is that some...
Absolutely. You can't listen. Something like a once in a lifetime, you can't guarantee that. That's something that they should, especially in professional wrestling, where it's never say never. We know it's never say never in professional wrestling. Nobody ever really retires. Nobody ever really leaves the business. Right. So you cannot say once in a lifetime for a match. You can't do that.
So
you don't want to capitalize, if anything.
So let me rephrase the question. Was it a no to advertise it as once in a lifetime, knowing damn well you're gonna try and run this match again?
Yeah, I mean it's like a bait and switch in a way. Like you want to get the fans to be like, oh, we'll never see this again. We gotta watch this. We gotta watch this, and then you do it again.
The people that bought tickets from Miami feel like dumbasses at that point because it's like, oh, we got to see the only John Cena Rock. No,
damn, made them feel special.
So May 29, let's run it back.
Right? Like no, like I would have been like, really? I blew all that money thinking I was gonna see something that was gonna be unique and special and never seen again, and I could talk about it with pride. Hey, you took that away from me.
Like you talk about, you went to WrestleMania 18 and they advertised Rock and Hogan.
Right.
Once in a lifetime, never before seen.
Right.
2003 rolls around, No Way Out in Canada. Let's do Rock and Hogan 2.
Hey,
if that made it, you're like, I'm never gonna be able to see this match ever again. It's like boom, a year later in the same country.
I went to a different country. I went to a whole different country to watch it.
My God.
You just can't do that because if it's successful, you're gonna want to run it back.
Right. Like Austin Rock, they did it 3 times in WrestleMania, but they never said once in a lifetime or never going to happen again.
Exactly. You can't do that. Like that's like I said, it's bait and switch. You cannot do stuff like that. Yeah. Not right. It's not right.
I will say the one thing that The Rock did that I liked at this point was that he this is when they switched the WWE Championship. They got rid of the spinner belt and got pretty much the belt we have now, but it's the old scratch logo.
Yes, I remember that.
And then there was like the belt that introduced the side plates with the custom side plates now.
Yeah.
Which is weirdly enough that's like now 12 years old of them doing that. Yeah. Then we've had custom side plates for 12 years now.
Time flies, buddy.
Right. So and it's also like we live here in New York, so it's bittersweet, or like oh, we get spoiled. We get to see Rock and Cena too.
Right.
I love the fake graphics too. We like twice in a lifetime because that's what we're fucking getting.
Twice in a lifetime.
WWE wasn't saying it public, but damn it was twice in a lifetime.
Right. Like, all right, you're getting a treat. They're gonna make it like you're getting a treat. And you're like, you bamboozled us.
And I will say this to anybody: I do not recommend John Cena Rock 2. It's not a good wrestling match. Yeah. It's just, oh, he has him up for the AA. Rock reverses. He has him in the Rock bottom. Oh, Cena reverses. He puts him back up for the AA. Somewhere in the middle of all this, Rock tears his abdomen.
Oh, that's the match.
Yeah.
He tore his tummy.
And also, let's remind people too how massively huge The Rock was physically.
Yes,
And this
exactly.
fucker tore his abdomen.
I can't even imagine what that must have felt like, right?
You know how hard people are trying to breathe nowadays, or like,
But you get a stomach cramp and you're like, oh, so it's tearing.
bitches nonstop.
But he finished the match though, right?
Yeah, he finished it. I will say too, like, him tearing his abdomen is probably like the equivalent of a woman on a period.
I would think so.
Maybe same pain, but just
Non-stop throbbing and
maybe,
yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Then you have to get up and physically do more shit.
Oh,
Because it
exactly.
was at
Yeah,
the beginning of the match too. It wasn't
yeah.
towards the end.
It's not like we can just be like, can we take 5 days off and just lay in bed? No.
No, keep going.
We gotta keep acting like nothing's wrong.
And then John Cena gets the
Oof.
big hand raise, wins the WWE title again. I think I'm trying to remember. You know what the funny thing is? We probably have to do a part 3, which is going to be good because there's a lot more to talk
That's
about
fine.
too. But at this point, John Cena has definitely held the WWE title 10 plus times at this point. So he's reaching a record that
Right.
famously, or not famously, but has been denied by Ric Flair, saying that the 16 titles is complete horse shit.
Yeah.
But that's the manufactured WWE Championship reign that they're going to continue to
right,
sell.
That's their canon, right?
Right. But I think John Cena maybe was 12 at this point, but it was at this point where he gets the big hand raise and Rock kind of passing the torch. I don't know. I would say maybe. Also, it was like 10 years later, maybe, or 10 years too late.
Yeah, I would think so. At this
Because
point.
John Cena's already established, and now you want to say this guy? We say this? He's the next guy. He's been here for 10 fucking years.
Right, exactly.
He's already on top.
Way more than yeah. You're absolutely correct. Should have been done back then.
I mean, I don't know. It's just WrestleMania 29 definitely felt weird in the sense for Cena's career, where it's like, okay, you beat The Rock now what?
Right. Right. Like, what else can you
What's
achieve?
next?
What else can you achieve?
Maybe that record. We'll get into it next time because still so much to talk about for Cena.
Yeah, because I start to get back into it little by little, and
When year did you really get back into it?
I would okay. So I started going to house shows with the kids, with my brother's kids, when they were. I mean, this was 2013.
Okay, so
2012.
definitely at the height of Cena annoyance.
Yeah, so like I said, I thought he was done, and then I remember going to a house show at MSG, and he popped up to wrestle, and I was like, "Oh, he's still around."
Right.
Because I mean, yeah, at that point, a lot of the people that were coming out, I didn't really know, or I knew from the indies, right? So when I saw him pop up, I saw Jericho pop up. I'm like, okay, I got some faces here. I still know, okay. But that's really more or less at the time that I started to slowly trickle back in. And I would say I started watching full time again, maybe like a few more years down the road. So I would like watch the pay-per-views, but I wasn't watching Raw or SmackDown on a weekly basis until maybe 5-6 years ago.
Okay, so the correction then. So Cena wins the Rumble in 2013. That's his second. Then he goes, though WrestleMania 29 was in 2013. So when we now get into part 3 of John Cena's retrospective, we're definitely going to be on the timeline where you started watching in 2014.
Yes, correct.
And then pretty much, hopefully, we can wrap up by his last match. Hopefully.
God.
No guarantee, but
this is turning into a series.
I mean, shit. I mean, I think people had good receptive to the first part, so might as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully, everybody likes this part too. Which everybody, if you like it, please like and comment. Please, and also comment your favorite Cena memory around this time too. If you were a fan of his, explain why.
Yeah.
But 2014 is definitely going to be when we start talking about more John Cena, where he starts winding down. He's not around as much as we see. We're going to start. And funny enough, when we start to see less of him, he starts to be better in the ring, which is going to be the funny part of us talking on the next, because this is when Big Match John starts becoming a thing.
Right.
But until then, I think pretty much that is it for this episode. Where again, like, comment, and subscribe for more stuff as much as this, and we'll be back for a part 3 of John Cena.
Excellent.
John Cena retrospective. And if you thought if intro was something, outro. We also have an outro too. So everybody, class is dismissed.
Sit, turn type, sit. Good boy. Ruff.